每天练习英语听、说、练，与我们一起提升你的语言技能。开始练习吧。
John wants to become a pilot. John wants to become a pilot.
约翰想成为一名飞行员。
John wants to become a pilot. John wants to become a pilot. Sarah dreams of flying airplanes. Sarah dreams of flying airplanes.
莎拉梦想助驾驶飞机。
Sarah dreams of flying airplanes. Sarah dreams of flying airplanes. You need to finish high school first. You need to finish high school first.
你需要先完成高中学业。
You need to finish high school first. You need to finish high school first. A pilot must have good eyesight. A pilot must have good eyesight.
飞行员必须有良好的视力。
A pilot must have good eyesight. A pilot must have good eyesight. Lisa studies hard to pass her exams. Lisa studies hard to pass her exams.
丽莎努力读书以通过考试。
Lisa studies hard to pass her exams. Lisa studies hard to pass her exams. You must be at least 17 years old. You must be at least 17 years old.
你必须至少满17岁。
You must be at least 17 years old. You must be at least 17 years old. Tom is taking flying lessons. Tom is taking flying lessons.
汤姆正在上飞行课程。
Tom is taking flying lessons. Tom is taking flying lessons. Pilots train at flight schools. Pilots train at flight schools.
飞行员在飞行学校接受训练。
Pilots train at flight schools. Pilots train at flight schools. You need a student pilot license. You need a student pilot license.
你需要一张学生飞行员执照。
You need a student pilot license. You need a student pilot license. Mark applied to a flight academy. Mark applied to a flight academy.
马克申请了一所飞行学院。
Mark applied to a flight academy. Mark applied to a flight academy. The training includes ground school. The training includes ground school.
训练包括地面学校课程。
The training includes ground school. The training includes ground school. Flying hours are very important. Flying hours are very important.
飞行时数非常重要。
Flying hours are very important. Flying hours are very important. Amy flew her first solo flight. Amy flew her first solo flight.
艾米完成了她的第一次单飞。
Amy flew her first solo flight. Amy flew her first solo flight. You must pass a medical exam. You must pass a medical exam.
你必须通过体检。
You must pass a medical exam. You must pass a medical exam. Pilots must be in good health. Pilots must be in good health.
飞行员必须保持良好的健康状况。
Pilots must be in good health. Pilots must be in good health. Ella visited the aviation doctor. Ella visited the aviation doctor.
艾拉去看了航空医生。
Ella visited the aviation doctor. Ella visited the aviation doctor. You need to pass a written test. You need to pass a written test.
你需要通过笔试。
You need to pass a written test. You need to pass a written test. Flight instructors help students learn. Flight instructors help students learn.
飞行教练帮助学生学习。
Flight instructors help students learn. Flight instructors help students learn. David is learning about weather patterns. David is learning about weather patterns.
大卫正在学习天气模式。
David is learning about weather patterns. David is learning about weather patterns. You must understand how planes work. You must understand how planes work.
你必须了解飞机的运作方式。
You must understand how planes work. You must understand how planes work. The cockpit has many controls. The cockpit has many controls.
驾驶舱里有很多控制装置。
The cockpit has many controls. The cockpit has many controls. Cindy listens to radio communication. Cindy listens to radio communication.
辛蒂在听无线电通讯。
Cindy listens to radio communication. Cindy listens to radio communication. Pilots must speak English clearly. Pilots must speak English clearly.
飞行员必须清楚地说英语。
Pilots must speak English clearly. Pilots must speak English clearly. You learn to read flight charts. You learn to read flight charts.
你会学习如何阅读飞行图表。
You learn to read flight charts. You learn to read flight charts. There are rules you must follow. There are rules you must follow.
有一些规则你必须遵守。
There are rules you must follow. There are rules you must follow. Kevin studies aviation regulations. Kevin studies aviation regulations.
凯文在学习航空法规。
Kevin studies aviation regulations. Kevin studies aviation regulations. You must log flight hours. You must log flight hours.
你必须记录飞行时数。
You must log flight hours. You must log flight hours. The more you fly, the better. The more you fly, the better.
你飞得越多，技术就越好。
The more you fly, the better. The more you fly, the better. Pilots must practice landings. Pilots must practice landings.
飞行员必须练习降落。
Pilots must practice landings. Pilots must practice landings. Jenny is learning to fly at night. Jenny is learning to fly at night.
珍妮正在学习夜间飞行。
Jenny is learning to fly at night. Jenny is learning to fly at night. You need a private pilot license. You need a private pilot license.
你需要一张私人飞行员执照。
You need a private pilot license. You need a private pilot license. A private license lets you fly small planes. A private license lets you fly small planes.
私人执照让你可以驾驶小型飞机。
A private license lets you fly small planes. A private license lets you fly small planes. You can't get paid with a private license. You can't get paid with a private license.
你不能用私人执照赚钱。
You can't get paid with a private license. You can't get paid with a private license. To get paid, you need a commercial license. To get paid, you need a commercial license.
要赚钱，你需要商业飞行员执照。
To get paid, you need a commercial license. To get paid, you need a commercial license. Paul is working toward his commercial license. Paul is working toward his commercial license.
保罗正在努力取得他的商业执照。
Paul is working toward his commercial license. Paul is working toward his commercial license. The commercial license takes more time. The commercial license takes more time.
商业执照需要更多时间。
The commercial license takes more time. The commercial license takes more time. You must pass another test. You must pass another test.
你必须通过另一项测验。
You must pass another test. You must pass another test. Flight simulators help pilots train. Flight simulators help pilots train.
飞行模拟器帮助飞行员训练。
Flight simulators help pilots train. Flight simulators help pilots train. Pilots wear headsets to talk. Pilots wear headsets to talk.
飞行员戴住耳机通话。
Pilots wear headsets to talk. Pilots wear headsets to talk. Safety is always a top priority. Safety is always a top priority.
安全永远是最重要的。
Safety is always a top priority. Safety is always a top priority. You must know emergency procedures. You must know emergency procedures.
你必须了解紧急程序。
You must know emergency procedures. You must know emergency procedures. Maria practiced engine failure situations. Maria practiced engine failure situations.
玛利亚练习了引擎故障的情况。
Maria practiced engine failure situations. Maria practiced engine failure situations. Pilots must stay calm in emergencies. Pilots must stay calm in emergencies.
飞行员在紧急情况下必须保持冷静。
Pilots must stay calm in emergencies. Pilots must stay calm in emergencies. Weather affects flight plans. Weather affects flight plans.
天气会影响飞行计划。
Weather affects flight plans. Weather affects flight plans. Pilots check the weather before flying. Pilots check the weather before flying.
飞行员在飞行前会查看天气。
Pilots check the weather before flying. Pilots check the weather before flying. You learn how to plan flights. You learn how to plan flights.
你会学习如何规划飞行。
You learn how to plan flights. You learn how to plan flights. Brian planned a cross-country trip. Brian planned a cross-country trip.
布莱恩规划了一次跨国飞行。
Brian planned a cross-country trip. Brian planned a cross-country trip. You need a logbook for your hours. You need a logbook for your hours.
你需要一本飞行记录本来记录时数。
You need a logbook for your hours. You need a logbook for your hours. Flying in different conditions helps you learn. Flying in different conditions helps you learn.
在不同条件下飞行有助于学习。
Flying in different conditions helps you learn. Flying in different conditions helps you learn. You must fly with an instructor. You must fly with an instructor.
你必须与教练一起飞行。
You must fly with an instructor. You must fly with an instructor. After training, you take a check ride. After training, you take a check ride.
训练结束后，你要参加检定飞行。
After training, you take a check ride. After training, you take a check ride. A check ride is a final test with an examiner. A check ride is a final test with an examiner.
检定飞行是与考官进行的最终测验。
A check ride is a final test with an examiner. A check ride is a final test with an examiner. If you pass, you become a licensed pilot. If you pass, you become a licensed pilot.
如果你通过了，你就成为有执照的飞行员。
If you pass, you become a licensed pilot. If you pass, you become a licensed pilot. Samantha passed her check ride last week. Samantha passed her check ride last week.
莎曼莎上周通过了她的检定飞行。
Samantha passed her check ride last week. Samantha passed her check ride last week. Pilots must renew their medical exams. Pilots must renew their medical exams.
飞行员必须定期更新体检。
Pilots must renew their medical exams. Pilots must renew their medical exams. You must keep your skills sharp. You must keep your skills sharp.
你必须保持技术熟练。
You must keep your skills sharp. You must keep your skills sharp. Some pilots fly for airlines. Some pilots fly for airlines.
有些飞行员为航空公司工作。
Some pilots fly for airlines. Some pilots fly for airlines. Others fly for private companies. Others fly for private companies.
其他人则为私人公司飞行。
Others fly for private companies. Others fly for private companies. Pilots can work in many fields. Pilots can work in many fields.
飞行员可以在许多领域工作。
Pilots can work in many fields. Pilots can work in many fields. Alex wants to fly cargo planes. Alex wants to fly cargo planes.
亚历克斯想驾驶货运飞机。
Alex wants to fly cargo planes. Alex wants to fly cargo planes. Emily dreams of being a flight instructor. Emily dreams of being a flight instructor.
艾蜜莉梦想成为飞行教练。
Emily dreams of being a flight instructor. Emily dreams of being a flight instructor. You can teach others to fly. You can teach others to fly.
你可以教别人飞行。
You can teach others to fly. You can teach others to fly. That needs a special instructor certificate. That needs a special instructor certificate.
那需要一张特殊的教练证书。
That needs a special instructor certificate. That needs a special instructor certificate. Training takes time and money. Training takes time and money.
训练需要时间和金钱。
Training takes time and money. Training takes time and money. Flight school can be expensive. Flight school can be expensive.
飞行学校可能很昂贵。
Flight school can be expensive. Flight school can be expensive. Some students apply for loans. Some students apply for loans.
有些学生会申请贷款。
Some students apply for loans. Some students apply for loans. Scholarships are also available. Scholarships are also available.
也有奖学金可以申请。
Scholarships are also available. Scholarships are also available. You must be motivated to succeed. You must be motivated to succeed.
你必须有动力才能成功。
You must be motivated to succeed. You must be motivated to succeed. Flying requires focus and discipline. Flying requires focus and discipline.
飞行需要专注和自律。
Flying requires focus and discipline. Flying requires focus and discipline. Pilots use navigation tools. Pilots use navigation tools.
飞行员使用导航工具。
Pilots use navigation tools. Pilots use navigation tools. GPS helps pilots find their way. GPS helps pilots find their way.
GPS 帮助飞行员找到路线。
GPS helps pilots find their way. GPS helps pilots find their way. You must understand airspace rules. You must understand airspace rules.
你必须了解空域规则。
You must understand airspace rules. You must understand airspace rules. Different zones have different rules. Different zones have different rules.
不同区域有不同的规定。
Different zones have different rules. Different zones have different rules. Pilots must follow air traffic control. Pilots must follow air traffic control.
飞行员必须遵从空中交通管制。
Pilots must follow air traffic control. Pilots must follow air traffic control. They guide planes safely through the sky. They guide planes safely through the sky.
他们引导飞机安全飞行。
They guide planes safely through the sky. They guide planes safely through the sky. You talk with control towers during flight. You talk with control towers during flight.
你在飞行中会与塔台通话。
You talk with control towers during flight. You talk with control towers during flight. Pilots file flight plans before flying. Pilots file flight plans before flying.
飞行员在起飞前会提交飞行计划。
Pilots file flight plans before flying. Pilots file flight plans before flying. Aviation has its own language. Aviation has its own language.
航空有自己的语言。
Aviation has its own language. Aviation has its own language. You learn to use aviation terms. You learn to use aviation terms.
你会学习使用航空术语。
You learn to use aviation terms. You learn to use aviation terms. Pilots communicate clearly and quickly. Pilots communicate clearly and quickly.
飞行员沟通要清楚又迅速。
Pilots communicate clearly and quickly. Pilots communicate clearly and quickly. Flying is both fun and serious. Flying is both fun and serious.
飞行既有趣又严肃。
Flying is both fun and serious. Flying is both fun and serious. It's exciting to fly an airplane. It's exciting to fly an airplane.
驾驶飞机令人兴奋。
It's exciting to fly an airplane. It's exciting to fly an airplane. You get to see amazing views. You get to see amazing views.
你可以看到壮丽的景色。
You get to see amazing views. You get to see amazing views. Pilots often travel to new places. Pilots often travel to new places.
飞行员经常前往新地方。
Pilots often travel to new places. Pilots often travel to new places. You meet people from around the world. You meet people from around the world.
你会遇见来自世界各地的人。
You meet people from around the world. You meet people from around the world. Flying can be a rewarding career. Flying can be a rewarding career.
飞行可以是一份有成就感的职业。
Flying can be a rewarding career. Flying can be a rewarding career. Some pilots fly helicopters. Some pilots fly helicopters.
有些飞行员驾驶直升机。
Some pilots fly helicopters. Some pilots fly helicopters. Helicopter training is different. Helicopter training is different.
直升机训练与飞机不同。
Helicopter training is different. Helicopter training is different. Most people start with airplanes. Most people start with airplanes.
大多数人从飞机开始学起。
Most people start with airplanes. Most people start with airplanes. You begin with a single-engine plane. You begin with a single-engine plane.
你会从单引擎飞机开始。
You begin with a single-engine plane. You begin with a single-engine plane. Multi-engine planes need extra training. Multi-engine planes need extra training.
多引擎飞机需要额外训练。
Multi-engine planes need extra training. Multi-engine planes need extra training. Natalie is learning to fly twin-engine planes. Natalie is learning to fly twin-engine planes.
娜塔莉正在学习驾驶双引擎飞机。
Natalie is learning to fly twin-engine planes. Natalie is learning to fly twin-engine planes.
感谢观看，订阅我们的频道并开启通知，及时获取新视频，持续你的英语学习之旅。